Hello, 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 everybody. So, this is the very first Level Up Live. This is the very first Level Up Live. Level Up Live. And I want to welcome each and every one of you guys to the live. And I created Level Up Live for a few reasons, right? The first reason was because I wanted to be the person that I once needed, right? I want to be the person, like when I was looking for a way up, I didn't really have anybody to give me any type of guidance, anybody that had a story like mine, anybody that looked like me, that was offering um, advice on your potential and just personal development, self-development, self-growth, right? And so that's why I made this call. And when I was going back and forth with myself about the time of the call, I said, you know what? I want to do this. Like, somebody was like, why would you do a call at 9, or why would you do a call at 10 when people are asleep, or when people, are in bed? They got to go to work, right? And I said, well, I'm not talking to dream chasers. I am talking to dream finishers. I am talking to the people that are like me, that are up at night with their thoughts on success and how they're going to get through life, right? And so I was thinking back about the last 90 days of my life and what it has really done and how it has really transformed, right? And I started thinking, like, when I made this call, how so many people are just up at night, like I was, like scrolling on my phone looking for, a way out of my situation, looking for um, their next level. Like when you're in something and you feel like you don't belong in that anymore, you feel like you've outgrown it. So now you're looking for something else. And I thought about yesterday, like it's really literally 4 months left in this year. Like literally 4 months. We're in the last quarter of the year. And it's so many people. Like I was talking to one of my friends and she said that, she set New Year's resolutions and she hasn't done them. And so she was like, well, I'm gonna put them on my 2026 resolution list. And I said, no, this year is not done. So much can happen in 120 days. A lot can happen in 120 days, right? And so I was just thinking about like the next level impact and ways that I can serve, right? And so what I want to talk about today is about making your next move your best move. Earlier today, I went live and I was talking about when you have defining moments, right? I was talking about when you have defining moments. And a lot of times we are so caught up in, what's happening to us that we don't understand that things don't happen to us, they happen for us, right? And certain things happen not for you to worry about them or not for you to become stagnant, but for you to move, right? For you to make your next move your best move. And I remember like talking to my friend and I told her like this next 120 days is going to be pivotal for a lot of things, right? And so I wrote down some points today that I actually wanted to talk about, right? Because a lot of people, like, they're looking at the things that I have going on right now. They see that I'm trading. They see that, I'm making a lot of money. They heard that I made 13,000 in 54 days. And then some people are seeing me with some new things. And I just made like $900 Thursday on the 28th. So it's a lot of things that are happening, and people are asking me and asking me and asking me, you know, how are you doing this? How do you do this? Like, you know, people are really asking me, and that's why I made this call. And to be quite honest, you guys, um, I was not the regular girl. I never was the regular girl, right? So just a little bit about me, if you don't know, I am from Florida, but now I live in Houston. And how I got to Houston was very non-traditional, right? So before I had my son, I had already planned to come to Houston. But a little background about me, I used to be in the strip club, right? I was a dancer from the age of 17 to 26, right? And so I remember in 2011, I believe it was 2011, I was going to move to Houston. No. It wasn't 2011. It was 2015. I was going to move to Houston. But I wasn't going to move to Houston to do what I'm doing right now. I was going to move to Houston because I heard that the strip clubs was popping, people was making money. That's why I was going to move to Houston in 2015. And so I ended up getting pregnant with my son, and I ended up staying in Florida. And so fast forward to 20, and I remember I had it in my book, like move to Houston. It was 2015, move to Houston, have this much money in my savings account. Like I had planned everything out. Ended up getting pregnant, and that did not happen. And so fast forward to 2020, right? I was about to start at a new job. I was working in a collection agency. Like how many of you guys know them companies that call you because you got to pay your bill, right? I was one of those. I was that girl. I was calling you. And so I was working at a collection agency, and I was about to start that job the next day. It was a Sunday, and I was going to start the job that next day, that Monday. So during that day, somebody had found me on Facebook. No, matter of fact, that happened during the weekend. They found me on Facebook, and they told me that they were my sister on my dad's side. And so when she told me that she was my sister on my dad's side, I asked her, you know, how did you find me? I said, how did you find me? She said, well, I typed in our dad's name, and your name came up, and your stepmom name came up, and your brother and sister. So I said, oh, okay. And she said she just followed the Facebook. She just found everybody on Facebook from then. And so when she told me that, I said, well, you know, I was separated from my mom at the age of 2. I was separated from my mom at 2 years old. So I never had got to meet her. And I remember going, when I finally got my birth certificate at 18 years old, I remember going to California, literally knocking on the doors of the places that my caseworker, she gave me these addresses where my mom used to live. And so I was knocking on doors. I was writing letters to people and everything. And so she told me that she found me. She told me how. So I said, I'm going to do that. So I will never forget, this site did not pay me. They don't even know my story. But I went on this website called checkpeople.com. You guys, I went on checkpeople.com. And when I went on checkpeople.com, I put in my mom's name. And when I put in her name, this list of names came up, phone numbers, addresses, emails, whatever. So the first thing I do, of course, is call the phone numbers. So when I call the phone numbers, they're off. They were all off. So I said, well, I'm just going to email these emails. I don't know if this is them, but I'm just going to email. So I emailed. I said, hey, my name is Unica. My mom's name is this. My dad's name is this. I was like, if you know if you know where they are or who that is, please let me know. If not, you can disregard this message. I sent the messages, and I just put the phone underneath my bed, underneath my pillow, so I could go to sleep. And 30 minutes later, the phone dinged. And when the phone dinged, it was like, oh my God, Unica, we've been looking for you and your brother. She was like, my mom and your mom is sisters. Can you please call my mom right now? We are in Houston, right? So mind you, I told you I already was going to move to Houston in 2015. I ended up stopped dancing in like 2018 or 2019. No, I ended up stopped dancing in like 2018. And so by that time, I wasn't dancing anymore. I had a job, this and that. So this time, when Houston came into my knowledge, into anything about me moving there, when it came to me, I was at a different place. So I was happy, but then when I asked my aunt, I was talking to my aunt. I'm just telling her about me and my life story, and I'm just telling her stuff. And she's like silent. And so then I finally was like, hey, I was like, where's my mom? Like, do you have her number? Like, and she was so quiet on the phone. And then she proceeded to tell me that my mom had passed away in 2015, right? So earlier I talked about defining moments, but that was one defining moment for me where I finally realized, Yanika, like it really, really, like that was a defining moment for me. Like it was literally like, okay, this pursuit that you have, like this, because I always had it in my mind like that I was going to meet my mom. I used to watch the movie Glitter with Mariah Carey, and I used to always say like, that was going to be me. I was going to be reunited with my mom. And so I had to like let that, I want to cry so bad right now, but I had to let that go, right? So I had to let that dream go that I was going to be reunited with my mom. That was a big defining moment for me. And so I ended up flying out, meeting my family, and deciding that I wanted to move to Houston. Lo and behold, like not even 6 months into me being in Houston, me and my family, like we did not get along. And I used to, like, I was dwelling on it, but then I had to realize that we have a plan and we think that we're doing something for a specific reason, but God has another plan for us, right? We think that, like, in my mind, I came to Houston to meet my family, to be reunited, this, and that. But when I thought about it, that was not God's plan. God moved me to Houston so I can thrive in, businesses and meet the people that I've met, right? And so that moment, like when I realized, like, you have a plan, there's your plan, and then there's God's plan, right? And so I had to let that go. I had to let that go of, okay, I didn't get to meet my mom, and then I meet my family, I don't really like them. And now I'm in Houston, I'm 4 states away from, my home. And I had to, deal with that. But then things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And so I always have been a big believer that your thoughts are what create your reality. And so instead of me thinking about all of the so quote unquote bad things that was happening to me, I started to change my perspective. And what I started to do is that I started to have gratitude. I started to have gratitude that God allowed me and my son to make it on 2 trips on the road, going across 4 states from Florida to Texas, right? God kept us. I became grateful that I even, lived in that apartment that I had the whole time that I was here. I was grateful that even though I had came to a new state and things happened to me, like my car went out on me and things like that, even though I was alone, I really wasn't alone, because the whole time I was protected by God. You get what I'm saying? Even though, like, anybody that turned their back on me, I have always been protected. And that's what you have to realize. Like, literally in this season, when I talked about earlier, dominating your defining moments, you have to start looking at you have to start having gratitude and start looking at the gifts inside of the mess. And that is literally what I had to do. I had to forget about who is not accepting me. Forget about all of that other stuff. Look at the business relationships that you have formed, Unika. Look at the opportunities you're speaking at these different events, and you're not even from here. And you're speaking at events, and you're networking and doing things and getting involved in different businesses, and you selling weight loss products and wellness products, and you have customers, and you're not even from here, and you have all these customers, and you're doing good. And sometimes we are so caught up on looking at the bad things, and we're looking at the bad situation. I was in an apartment that I literally hated. But I had to shift my mind, and I had to say, I'm so happy and so grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm so happy and so grateful that I have dishes, that I have food in my refrigerator, even though I hated that apartment. Because it was in the projects. It was, y'all, it was bad. But I had to change my mind state in order for me to have what I have right now. I had to. And so literally I had to make my next move, my best move. Like, when it all dawned on, like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, June, it was a lot. Like, everything hit the fan with my family. Like, I really was going off on them people, cussing them people out, okay? Like, I was not even playing. I was like, it was like everything that could have went wrong went wrong. And I was in this apartment that I hated. But guess what happened? I had to take a pause, because I had got so mad that I really wanted to whoop these people's ass, okay? And I had to literally take a step back. Like, I'm so serious. I had to take a step back, and what made me really, like, I had to become like unbothered, unfuckwittable. I literally thought to myself, like, I literally was on the verge of, like, for real, like, I'm not even playing. But a voice spoke to me. A voice spoke to me, and it sounded like my own voice, but I knew it was the higher power. And the voice said, Unika, in a short amount of time, within 2 months, I had literally gotten a new life. At the tip of me making those 13, like, y'all gotta understand, when everything is going good, something, a catastrophic thing is gonna try to happen to make it go bad. How many of you guys know that? When something is going really, really good, it's like the enemy got to test you. Got to. And so at this time, I'm going back and forth with my cousins online. Like, I'm cussing them out. Like, the whole family, they don't like me. I don't even care, right? But this voice spoke to me. I had to make 13,000. I'm talking about, I made 13,000. And I was like, I'm making money. I'm almost out of my situation. And these people is trying me. That's all I could say. Like, all this stuff going good and these people trying me. But let me tell you what happened. And this is the exact timeline of when it happened. On June the 1st, I was arguing, mad, ready to fight everybody. A voice spoke to me and said, you have come too far. You doing too much. Like, you doing too much good stuff. You're learning how to trade. Like, come on. That's what the voice said to me. And I said, you know what? You right. I had my 13,000 because I really was going for 25,000. I really was going for 25K, but I stopped at the 13K. And I had a car at the time that was in a man's name that I was dating. And so I went and got me a new car in my own name. So this was June the 1st. I was arguing, almost about to risk everything that I worked hard for, right? So that was June the 1st. On June the 9th, 8 days after that test, I got a new car in my own name for me and my son. 6 days after that, so June the 1st, I got tested bad. June the 9th, got a new car. June the 15th, I moved from out the projects to a 3-story townhome in Houston. And I'm not talking about this to talk about materialistic things. I'm talking about this to tell you how right before something good is going to happen, I mean right before, literally 7 days, 8 days before God blessed me and my son with a new car, and 14 days before I was blessed with a new place to live, I got tested. And you got to know you're going to get tested too. I am human. I am not perfect. I read a lot of books. I know a lot of self-development. I know a lot of personal development. But I am human too. I can go off the rail, but I know how to get myself back on track. I decided to make my next move my best move. You got to make your next move your best move. You have to pass the test. You have to know that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. You have to know that those defining moments are not meant to defeat you. They are meant to be dominated. You have to dominate your defining moments. And defining moments, it don't always pop up as it don't always pop up like that. But when you have a defining moment, you're going to feel something that tells you to move. I'm going to give you another defining moment that really made me realize that I have to take these next 120 days more serious than ever. Right? I'm doing a fast. Right? You want to know why I'm doing a fast? Because I had another defining moment when one of my mom's friends found me on Facebook. She saw me telling my story and she gave me her phone number, told me to call her, right? And so when I called her, and she gave me her condolences about me not being able to know my mom, and she said your mom was a beautiful person, and your mom had so much potential, but she used to drink a lot, but she used to like to party a lot. I always thought about your mom because she just had so much potential. And that was a defining moment for me. Because I said, you know what? I have a brother that is right now on the streets. I don't know where he is. He is in Tampa somewhere, homeless and without anything, and I try to look for him and everything, right? He's on drugs, he's overdosed and been in the hospital and everything. I have another brother who likes to drink and go out on the weekends. And so, do you know what that told me? Really? That said, Unika, you have an addiction spirit on the inside of you. It's deep down inside of you, ingrained from your ancestors, right? And so what did I say I was going to do? I said I am going to fast. And I am going to operate at my full potential. And I am going to break that cycle of being consumed by substances, and I will be of sober mind. So let's celebrate that, right? I said, I'm not going to wait until I get strung out or until I get in a depression. I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to stop it now. I'm going to be the person to break the generational cycles and start new things, new family traditions and things that are passed down from the family that are positive. That's what I said I'm going to do. You have to decide that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. You have to decide that you are going to dominate your defining moments, and you have to decide that you're going to make your next move your best move. Now, we're going to get into how we're going to do that. How are we going to make our next move our best moves? First of all, we're going to take this next 120 days seriously. We are going to take these next 120 days seriously. And I wrote down some points that I want everybody in 20 days seriously. And I wrote down some points that I want everybody to work on. I want everybody to work on this. So, number one is understand why you are where you are. Taking account of understand why you are where you are, taking accountability for the role that you played in your. What did you do? I had to really look at myself and say, no, Unika, what did you do? What did you do? No, they not all in the clear, but what did you do? For example, I'm going to tell you about me. What I told myself when I got into certain situations, I said, Unika, it's your fault. You want to know why it's your fault, Unika? Because why were you hanging around those people in the first place? They have nothing in common with you. The only thing that you guys have in common is going out to eat because you love to eat and going and getting some drinks sometimes. Other than that, it's no commonalities between you guys. This person does not have any type of goals. They just floating through life, and you're mad because they did you some type of way. Look how they do themselves. Why were you even around them in the first place? That's really what I had to. You have to understand the role that you played in your own situation. If you don't like it, you have to understand what you did. And once you understand what you did, you have to make the decision to correct it. I remember getting so mad at people because they weren't treating me the way that I wanted to be treated, or I'm just getting mad because they not seeing, like, I don't know. I used to be getting so mad at other people, but I said, Unika, it's your fault. Why are you trying to force bonds with people? Why are you trying to have relationships with these people? Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why do you want to please people so much? You have to understand the role that you play. Unica, why do you want to feel like you belong? Listen, the only reason why I went through a lot of things with people that I went through it with was because I was too busy people pleasing and feeling like I needed to belong. When God already prepared me my own table. I'm trying to get a seat at this table with these people that have nothing in common with me and they not going nowhere in life. And I'm just trying to form and build relationships with them when God is trying to prepare my own table for me. But I'm too busy looking for a chair that I don't even see. This whole table up here is empty. They got the plate, the reserve with my name on it, but I can't even see the table and the empty chairs that my people that gravitate towards me are going to be on because I'm so busy trying to have a seat at these people's table. Unica, it's your fault. You be people pleasing. So what are you doing? What are you doing that you know, like, it's your fault? What are you mad about that you're blaming everybody else for and you're blaming everything around you? What are you mad about that's really your fault? Acknowledge it. Understand the role that you played and make your next move your best move. Now, what do, baby? My circle is a dot. Okay? I have my good business partners, my business besties. That's what I call them, my boss friends, my boss besties. You know what I'm saying? But I am around people that align with me now. And guess what? I attracted these people. I didn't have to chase. I didn't have to feel like, oh, I got to go to this cookout where ain't nobody got nothing and I'm just chilling because I'm just related, but it's no increase happening. It's no higher level conversations happening, and I keep putting myself in these places. No. Make your next move your best move. Understand the role that you played in the circumstances that you have and decide that you're going to change them and actually change them. Right? The next one, make a conscious decision to change for the better. Write out your goals and plan to attain them. People write out their goals and they write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they just write out their goals and they don't have no type of strategy. One thing that I love about trading and what trading has taught me is that a strategy will save you. A strategy is what plan do you have to execute? How are you going to go about doing this? What is your method? So once you know what needs to be changed, you just need to make the decision to change it and plan it. Write it down. Write it down and make it plain. And get into action. Make your next move your best move. If you guys don't see, I'm saying move because I'm telling you to take action. I'm not saying make your best plan your next plan. No. Make your next move your best move. Right? The next thing, cut off any distractions, whether that's people, places, environments, habits, food, whatever. Anything that is a distraction, you have to cut it off. Stop scrolling on social media all day and all night, listening, getting all this irrelevant information in your brain, in your ear gates, which is the gateway to your heart. Quit scrolling mindlessly for hours. Stop doing that. That's a distraction. Quit binge watching. Unless you're trying to get some acting pointers from the people on the screen. Right? Stop. Why are you watching a whole season in a day? Why are you glued to the couch that long when you just binge watching something? No. Get out of people's business. Man, somebody tried to tell me I was at my job and I was finna go, well, I was about to go son. I think I was about to go pick up my son. I don't know. But I'm just walking. And matter of fact, it was the same day that I made the $945. I was so confused when she came to everything. She like, girl, did you see what happened with Tiana Taylor? I just made close to $1,000 before 11 a.m. I don't give a damn what's happening with Tiana Taylor. You get what I'm saying? Like, distractions. Cut off any distractions, man. Anything that will stop you from getting to your next level, you have to cut it off. You have to know that some people are distractions. You plan to study, or you plan to practice on something, or you plan to work on your business, but now this friend called and she like, well, you can just come out for an hour. It's just happy hour. Or you can come out, it's just one night. Cut off the distractions. Who and what are you not disciplined around? And get away from it. That's it. The last one is to become and don't explain. You don't owe any explanation to the new you. You don't. You don't owe any explanations to the new you. You have to become. Listen, I told you guys, when I would say when I gave myself a new place to live in a new car, when I elevated my lifestyle a little bit, I was planning to go all the way to 25K, right? But I decided to just go ahead and do what I needed to do with the 13,000. Okay? I understood the power in environments and in feeling good, right? Some people may think that I'm always getting some new fresh braids so that out of vanity or whatever, or some people may think that, you know, I do certain things out of vanity, but really when you look better, when you look good, you feel good. When you have things in your life that you desire, you feel better, you operate better. Man, the apartment that I was in, it was so horrendous. I would not even be live right now even talking to y'all, because that's just how disgusted and depressed I was in that apartment, right? That car was depressing. When you look the way you want to look, and I don't care what nobody say about money and materialistic things. Some things you do, like when you have nice things, and that doesn't mean you have to have Gucci or Louis Vuitton, whatever his name is. Doesn't mean that. But when you have things that you like, and when you have things that you are proud of, and it's yours, you are happy. When you walk into your house or apartment or whatever it is, and you like where you live, you're not disgusted by where you live. You operate on a different level. So you have to become. Who is that person? Who is that person that you see yourself as? And you have to become them. I'm not telling you to go out and go buy a Rolls Royce because you see yourself in a Rolls Royce, or try to go get. No, I'm telling you that the attitudes, the habits, the disciplines, the social circles, the diets, the workout plans, the conversations, the screensavers, those type, whatever the person has, whatever you can embody, envision yourself as who you are on the inside. Because sometimes we say envision yourself as who you want to be, but that person that you want to be is already you. You can't see something that's not already in you. You can't want something that's not already yours. If you can see it, if God gave you the vision to see it, that's because you're meant to attain it. So you have to become the person you are at your core, who you really are at your core. That is who you need to become, and you need to become it unapologetically. Don't explain nothing to nobody. Man, listen, I'm not explaining the Level Up Live to nobody. Why are you going live at 9 and 10 o'clock, baby? Get on the live. Get on the live and you will see I'm not explaining nothing. I just posted the Level Up Live banner on my TikTok and my Facebook stories. I didn't even explain nothing. I didn't say, hey, this is my live calls that I'm gonna have, and I didn't say nothing. Get on. You have to become who you are deep down at your core, because you're not becoming someone new. You only see yourself in that car because it's yours and because you can get it. It's up to you. Only thing standing between you and your desires is you making your next move your best move. Only thing standing between you and what you desire is movement. You have to keep moving forward to get to this, right? And so we're going to make our next move our best move, you guys. It is the end of 2025, baby. Once we get in those months that end with BER, baby, that means the year is almost OVER, okay? So we have about 120 days left in this year. What are you going to do to make your next move your best move? What are you going to do? Who are you going to become? What are you going to forgive yourself for? What are you going to take accountability for and say, hey, that was my fault? What plan are you going to make? What actions are you going to take, really, for these next 120 days? What are you going to do? And so before I end this live, I want to go over some quick announcements. So I will be back on live. If not tomorrow during the daytime, then definitely on Thursday, because on Wednesday, me and my team, we do have live trading sessions. So if you are here in Houston and you are wanting to learn about trading and investing and how I was able to make $13K in 60 days, then meet us. Just DM me, say trade, I'm in Houston, where are you guys meeting at? We meet at different restaurants and locations around Houston. But yeah, we have live trading sessions on Wednesday. So tomorrow we will be out. The trading session starts there's one that starts at 9 p.m. CST, and then there's one that starts at 11. So we do meet with people, get them set up with their demo accounts before the trading sessions even start. That way they can trade with us in real time and see, what it's actually like in the market. So it's a very, very exciting time. Also, we are going to be hosting networking events in the third ward of Houston. So I'm very, very excited about that. That is actually coming next Wednesday. So I will give more information out closer to that time. Also, if you are looking for an accountability group, I have a personal private community on Facebook called She Means Business, and we go over mindset, money, and transformation. There's also a book club that we have, and right now we're reading The 9 Laws of Success, which is by Dr. Stormy Wellington. We are reading that book right now. So if you're looking for a community, please go on Facebook, get in my She Means Business communication channel and join us. We're going to be doing challenges. This first book that we have is phenomenal. I know some people's lives are going to be elevated if they actually take this book and apply these 9 laws, right? And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. If you're in Houston and you want to learn how to trade and invest in the financial markets, just reach out to me, DM me, and say trade, and I will send you the information so that you can learn what everything is all about. And again, this call is going to, I could see this call 5 years from now. Like, people gonna be staying up trying to get on this call. I'm not even joking, because the people that I'm talking to on this call, I'm not talking to just, the dream chasers, baby. I'm talking to the dream finishers. Okay, I'm talking to the people that turn the dreams into reality, right? That they be up on their phone trying to figure out they trying to figure it out, right? And so I'm so happy and so grateful that you all spent this time with me. I'm so happy and so grateful that you trust my voice to be the voice that you hear, at this time of night, and that you're taking in this message and getting this type of information before you go to sleep is very, very effective, right? So I'm about to go and listen to The Strangest Secret as I go to sleep, or I may listen to The Science of Getting Rich. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to listen to one of those books. But get inside my community. She Means Business. DM me trade if you just want to know information about the community, the platform that I use to do copy trading. Just let me know. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.